Oh, it's exciting.
Yeah,
We just got gifted these by our good friend Sean. They are signed slivering shadow peeds because the artist is at Calling Birmingham. So we've just been gifted this by our good friend Sean.
Why did we got slivering shadowpede specifically?
Well, because it was our spoiler card, Hamish. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can go to Push the Point and you can watch our spoiler video. It's pretty metal. Now artist approved because we showed it to the, well, Sean showed it to the artist and they flipping loved it.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I
absolutely.
Could wear this on
I can
my
actually
hat.
legitimately
Wait. We are experts. So we have got a great game coming for you.
What's going on here? Yeah,
we have Bolton versus Lexi.
Awesome.
Emlyn Ingram versus Keir Sweeney. Bolton versus Lexi. It's going to be pretty sweet.
Emlyn on the Bolton, here on the Lexi. Interesting. So
you know a lot about Bolton.
I do know a lot about Bolton. What are you saying?
Well, I'm saying you know a lot about Bolton. So
I do.
what are you saying? What do you feel as a Bolton player going up against Lexi?
I am genuinely intrigued how Emlyn is going to do this because I've been playing, when I play into this, and I have to say, I haven't managed to really dig in deep with the testing, right? But I know that Bolton can pop off. It all depends on what sort of style he's doing, whether it's the Sabres version or the Raiden version, or even now we've seen the axe, the Decimator axe. I know that it was piloted by Dorinthia, but Bolton can certainly play that way as well, and he's got Soul Shield as a card that can be a big thing as well. So it depends what sort of style he's going for. But the Raiden one, I found it a wee bit tricky because because of the ice, but there's plenty of yellows as well.
It's a wee bit tricky, guys, but we're going to find out what weapon will Bolton have. Now I'm interested. Maybe we're going to see another axe. We were saying maybe we watched that axe story game earlier.
Emlyn told me that he knows that I'm a big Bolton fan,
right?
And he turned around and said to me, "I've got some spice."
He got some spice.
He's got some spice. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm intrigued to see this. So, judging by Emlyn's face, I think he called odds on the roll to see who's going first and second. Because you when you see someone go, they do that. Oh, I just rolled a 6. So
odds with 2 dice as well. I like it.
It wasn't 2 dice. It rolled 1.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, he just rolled the 1 dice.
Can we get confirmation? No, we don't need studio confirmation.
We need a confirmation.
How
on
is
1 or 2
everybody
die.
doing out there in the world today? Are you looking forward to this great game we've got coming?
Whoa!
Finally an intro on
look at
stream.
this.
Whoa!
Whoa! We got Luminar Ascension Bolton.
Is that?
Well,
is
hang
that
on.
A Bolton?
Whoa!
What is that weapon? It's disappeared into the light. The light of Bolton is so strong.
Oh my
it is
days.
shining down today.
The light of Soul. Can you turn it down a wee bit, Soul? Turn it down.
NEC Convention Centre, Birmingham.
Okay.
We see a shield. This is the new shield.
This is the new shield. It appears that we've also got a Centauri Sabres as well. We're using the some alt art work for the hero, and we've got some alt art work for the Sabre as well. So we are playing a full fatigue
sword
Bolton.
and board, says
Sword
Shamir.
and
Sword and board, indeed. We'd love to see it.
Wow, this is when he said some spicy tech. He wasn't joking.
So I'm looking forward. If the studio could confirm the feet, chest, and arms,
I think
we can make predictions.
Oh no! So I've seen the courage.
It's courage.
So courage is the chest. It's going to probably be the braces because they've got free block.
It's bloody soul. Bloody soul. No, I'm not sure.
It's the light soul. I do apologize, everyone. The light of soul is real.
Bloody sun. That's what we're saying.
Oh, bloody sun.
Bloody sun.
Yeah, the sun is beaming down on there. But just I think from the way we're looking at everything now, we're looking at a really heavy armor suite, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it was the. Oh, I'm actually seeing it's actually the new light legs, the one that if you banish a card from soul, you can prevent 2.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because I mean that's a prevent 2, right?
That's
it's easy to get 1 card in soul, and then you've got a 2 block for the legs.
And we see a CNC out the gate straight away from Emlyn here. Good card to put on a bit of pressure against the Lexi. That's definitely what you want to open up, especially if you're going defensive. Good way to just disrupt them a little bit early on.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll force a block. It's not going to want to lose 2 cards.
He's got to. I can see in his hand though. He's got a sink below.
It is skull cap, on the top.
Yeah, there is skull cap on the top, but he's got a sink below, I believe, in hand. And the other card is the what was that? Bolton Bolting Blade. That's it. Bolting Blade.
Bolting Blade.
It's a hard card to play. Very hard to so
Hard
I
card
imagine
to
this is
play,
going to
hard
be...
card to say, but we'll see if it has an impact on this game. Right. We're seeing 2-card block here going. Don't mess with my flight. We got 2-card block here going down. That's going in the clip.
That's that's going in the clip. So yeah, 2-card block, easy enough. Imagine he's putting that sink below into Arsenal, keeping the Bolton Blade in hand, so that he's getting ready for that for the block for the next turn. Pass it over to Alexi.
Yeah, and Alexi's play he's got an ice card in hand. Might try to do a little bit of disruption here, but got the Bolton shot, but it's already loaded, so got to think about a way that they're going to buff that. Reveals the Rain Razors, very nice. Don't know if they really want to be. Yeah, just going to play the Bolton shot out, I think.
Oh, Iron Song versus as the arm piece, not the bracers.
Go on. We are working with skylights are proving to be a bit of an issue today. Trust us, the UK normally has 0 sun, so we don't have to worry about this.
I know the light
trust me, it will pass.
Yeah, it won't be
we get
long.
about an hour of sunlight a day, so yeah, there's not much we can do about the glare, but you'll probably see that the UK weather does a good job of getting rid
Changing
of this
its
done
mind.
very quickly.
100%.
So, little umbrella, yeah, we could get a little umbrella. We could get a little cocktail.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a good point. Actually,
we see the saber swung. So the saber, it's the if you block with a attack action, it gets +1.
yeah,
Correct?
yeah. It's very much like the Bolton's ability.
It's a little bit similar, not quite the same as the axe that we saw in the Dory game. It has a disruptive effect if they.
Yeah,
But it's only really going to buff it by 1.
yeah. But if you can get a card into Soul, you can give it a go again. So there is something. But he's not really the aggressor. He is playing this really defensive, long game. He's just fatiguing.
Yeah, I'm throwing these
Lexus
cards
out.
down and. Brings
Right,
out the Codex immediately.
Yeah,
Probably going to fetch the. It's got an interesting set of choices here. Maybe the Bolt.
it's going to be the Bolton shot. It's literally just very simple.
Just the 0 cost, because I think we pitched a Red Remorseless. This
Has he got a frailty token? Yeah, he does. Does he get the frailty token? Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if he didn't have to put a card in Arsenal.
correct.
Yeah. Okay. It's
You
just
always
quite.
get
You always get the frailty
yeah.
token. That's fine though. He's just coming in for 4. He's just going to take 1, block for 3, and probably just very simply swing for 1, and still damage.
It's damage, and like we saw this earlier. This is just content to sit back and block and swing and block and swing, and it might not be the fanciest thing you've ever seen, but it certainly worked well for the other Dory player, for the Dory player, the other warrior player we had in the previous game. We're gonna have to see if Kier is able to set something up. I do see them pitching some interesting red cards, maybe thinking about setting up a big turn for the late game, which is what Jason almost managed but didn't quite manage to pull off in that game. So
Right, I was out from the Dory game.
I forget that you weren't in that game, Hamish.
I wasn't at one.
Possibly no, but it was a good one.
It was. Did you not know? Simon was sitting next to you. Do we just look alike to you?
You basically, yes.
What? You see me?
Yeah, it's the facial hair,
The what? Big mustache.
Yeah, yours is fair enough.
Anyway, Saber coming in for 1, and he was moving in real quick here. So he's just going to take the 1. That's fair enough, and he's just loading that.
The other thing about these Dories and Boltons is that I feel like they're still quite fresh on the scene, and it's probably a decent chance that you're probably not expecting them to play in this way. It's a tricky one for Lexi. Like, is it going to be a Sabres Bolton? Is it going to be an aggressive Raiden? And then they put down a more controlling deck. It's hard to sideboard against that.
But what do you do? How do you even? What does Lexi need to do to actually deal with someone that's just blocking this much? Or how much?
Well, I think what the issue we had with the game with Jason versus Dory is that he put his ice package in, thinking he's going to disrupt the Dawnblades with ice cards, which deprived him of arrows in deck, which is really what Lexi needs. If you're trying to be decked out, Lexi needs those arrows, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So miss sideboarding in that way could have an impact on the game. We are seeing a big turn here. We are seeing a Bolt and Rain Razors. We're seeing that Rain Razors played out into a Remorseless.
And I think Emily will be all right with this, because I know they still got that sink below sitting in Arsenal, right? So he could easily still cover this up pretty well. So he's just going to come in and block that for 6.
Because the effect of Remorseless isn't really going to be that impactful, because they're not going to do anything on their turn.
And then that's just going to come in for 4. And
chooses to play out the blue headshot. Doesn't have a ponder. So it's
Did it come in for 4? Or did it? Is that coming in for
Rain Razors is up. So
2? Oh, the Rain Razors is up as well. But I don't know whether because the headshot gets +1 if it's loaded face up in Arsenal.
It's damage is damage is damage. We'll see it reflected on the live titles there, but a good
I'm
turn,
just
good
more
turn.
curious that Emlyn probably maybe he's just waiting for that sync flow for something a little bit more bigger.
Definitely a bigger on hit. I think save it for that. Use your health effectively.
Yeah, no, Emlyn is 3-0 with this very, very new style of Bolton. I've never thought I'd ever see the shield being used, and here we are, shield 3-0 in the
A lot more
calling.
heroes are getting these shields and getting these offhands. They start sort of bringing offhands into the game a lot more. We started with Guardian with shields, and and then we're seeing Warrior getting shields, and you're getting Vincent with the offhand book, the Grimoire.
The book.
The book.
The book.
The book. And I like it. It changes things up a little bit. We sort of saw it with Quivers. Quivers are a bit different. Again, we're seeing these attacks into Codex.
Okay.
Just trying to...
I can see Kizzy's being really, really aggressive with this. He's aggressively making sure these this Codex turn is just being able to push these 3 arrow turns, and not maximizing, trying to discard a card from Emlyn's hand. So he's just trying to just push out the damage. But then I think this is working at the minute in Emlyn's favor because, if he's not losing a card in his hand, he's just still sitting on that sync blow in Arsenal.
Yeah.
And he hasn't even thought, I don't need to use this yet. I'm just effectively blocking everything quite well with my hand and keeping my life total high.
I think I like more about this Bolton is that Bolton can switch it up, can go hard. Like I think that's a good one. So a good one. What I'm trying to say is that Bolton has can switch it on a dime and actually just start playing out good attacking cards.
That is true, but the thing is that it's a lot of the time you could look at throwing out some of these really big powerful red cards, and as you can see here, we've just been kindly given over the deck lists here. It's actually a really interesting list.
We won't reveal too much from the deck
No,
list.
not too much on the deck list. It's just saying it's actually really.
I've always been the ether says
don't do that. Don't do that. No, I hear that, but I'm just saying that the deck list here is just very interesting way of playing in it, and maybe you're right. There is a way that actually he can have these small impact turns, but nothing major like Bolton could usually.
You got
do,
one
right?
stable. It's going to be a pretty boring Lumino.
Even regardless, even when you're looking at the deck list or not, if you just see a shield on the board, like Bolton is a warrior. Warriors really need to make their weapons do a lot of work, and Raiden and Sabers are sort of partly one of the big reasons Bolton actually pushes out of the gate really well with Lumino Ascension.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if we're going to get mega Lumino Ascension turns or not, especially when you've got such an aggressive hero like Lexi, just throwing out huge turns with we just got a 3 of a kind turn.
Yeah, we're getting 3 of a kind up here, getting the ice card out of the way before it starts. It's just isn't Arctic in hand. It's not looking super spicy. Is that another 3 of a kind in hand as well? Can't quite see.
There is a 3 of a kind hand, but it's not going to be able to be any good. And also there's
2 3 of a kinds in hand. 2 3 of a kind.
I know. This is really rough. This is actually a very rough 3 of a kind turn from Kier.
Keeps them both in hand.
I know, but you can't play any of them because he's got Arctic Incarceration as well.
This is
can't
really,
play anything from hand.
What, did everybody at home see that hand?
Is everybody okay?
If anyone needs to talk about that hand,
yeah. It's but this is the world.
Playing the Arctic out.
This is the world we live in.
Maybe you can do something here.
All right. So we're coming out now. We're going to try that second one out now, and he's got a much better setup with the Arctic Incarceration.
Hits the blue, which is great.
Oh yeah, we've got plenty of hours now. This is going to be much more impactful.
Now we're gaming.
Okay. So Voltaire for 1. I'm wondering what he's going to pick in there first. Oh, okay. We're going for the go again.
This is the one where if it hits, deals a bit more damage, right? Yeah.
Searing shot.
Yeah, but he's alive.
Thank you, Barry.
Nice. Shut down. In comes another one.
Searing shot for a go again.
Yeah, used up both Voltaire charges.
Okay, and he doesn't.
Yeah,
but the Arctic's fine. He's like,
got no cards left.
I mean, maybe was that the time possibly to play Arctic? But either way, he's just like cool.
Then they've got another 3 of a kind that they're going to want to play next turn.
That's true. Yeah,
so
he needs to get it out. But he's getting their face up in Arsenal anyway.
And we're seeing it again here that the Lexi player seems to be playing a lot of ice cards, probably thinking, yeah, I'm going to disrupt this bolt.
Well,
I'm
and
pop-off turn.
Emlyn
And
is
these just not the cards you want to see.
when he told me I'm bringing some spice, he's not lying.
Yeah.
This is brilliant. These are the sort of games I love seeing. Just something just really, really, really different. And Bolton is where I really, after this game, I want to have a look at this deck and try this out. It's just so cool just to see the just to have this shield package. But I'd love to see what sort of he pivots into. After how does he deal? Is this the way he has to deal with Dromai? Because I'd imagine this would be really difficult for Dromai.
I think it's probably relatively easy for the Bolton to just shift into a classic,
just a classic Bolton game.
Sabers.
Or maybe we're just looking at just going down to the Saber package and
do
then
two
just slow
Sabers
down
against certain heroes.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, it does look like the Lexi. I think what we've seen so far is the Lexis just. They seem a bit like, what do I do?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
like,
we were just stuck in. He just goes, okay, if you're going to give me a card in hand, I'm just going to CNC.
Just so used to playing up against other aggro decks or decks that they can just go over the top of, but
he doesn't even. He's not even trying to. He's not looking at the CNC and going. He's not bothered about the damage.
Yeah.
He's more bothered about. Like, it just reminds me of the time of playing Oldhim when you're playing a draft game.
Yeah.
And he just goes, I'm just going to swing for 10. You're not really bothered that you're going to get 10. You're just more bothered by how many cards are you going to give me, because I'm just trying to deck you out. So he knows he's going to give him 2 cards.
And I'm terrified, Hamish, because I think I'm starting to worry that Simon Denning might be right about Lexi.
Oh, no. He could be. Simon's is a doctor.
Look, there's a lot of Lexi out there today,
and there's a lot of Lexis winning. As much as we're
saying doing well,
this
is a Lexi 3-0. There's probably a fair few more like it.
We are also picking up. We want to bring some really entertaining matches here, and we're just picking up these heroes that a lot of people just didn't see coming, and clearly we're picking up heroes that are teched to deal with Lexi.
And the other thing, of course, is like we can't discount Lexi. Like,
no, absolutely not.
The Lexi player is probably working to a second cycle, going to set up something really big, and they can go over the top. They pushed through 7 damage so far. It's not a lot, but if they can keep pushing, keep getting cards through. Main issue is that 3 of a kinds just seem to be coming up at pretty awkward times.
I mean, here we go, just coming in for a 2.
Another Arctic. Love ice cards.
Yeah, it's so cool because you just know he's not going to block, right?
Yeah,
it's just chipping in for 2. I'd say that Lexi's such an incredibly powerful hero, but we're just seeing the game of you're a ranger and you don't have a weapon, so that is a quote finger quote weakness in this game that we're going to leverage. You have a finite amount of gas in the tank.
So we've got a thing here where the Bolton player, the last card they pitched was Lumina Ascension, and they now actually have a Lumina in hand. So I wonder if we'll see the Bolton player keep that Lumina, pitch that as well to Saber, and set up double Lumina at the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, possibly. But then I think the Bolton player is also just incredibly happy that this is now 3 of a kind number 3.
Yeah.
So does he need to kill? Do we need to kill? It feels like the old Decimator Act game that was on earlier.
I don't think they do. I think they are working through the arrows. I think they are just going to keep blocking.
Yeah.
And the real thing, the real question is, can the Lexi player get the recursion going on their endless arrows? Because that can really put a spanner in the works. If they're able to keep recurring back endless arrow multiple times, that's going to change the equation much more in favor of the Lexi. But we're seeing we've got about 71% of people saying that Bolton's going to win this one, but let's see how it pans out. I'm probably on that team as well, but we're going to...
It's looking... Okay, so now we're seeing the shield in full effect for the first time. So it's got to be Unity, so he has to shut down the 2 cards with it, or does it have to be and 1 card?
I don't know the card too well. Maybe we can get the shield up on screen, studio, so we can have a little read of it. My understanding would just be 1 card, but
but regardless, anyway, he's coming in high,
and I think
so
it's
the right thing to throw in that much anyway. And endless arrows for 4. This is where is he going to throw 2 cards into this? Because like you said, endless arrow. Recycling round again. It's pretty scary.
Chooses to block with the Lumina, so not going to set anything up, like you said. Hamish just going to play their game plan. Just going to keep going and keep blocking and run this Lexi out of arrows.
Yeah.
It might not be pretty,
No.
but it does the job.
Yeah.
And Lexis have been having a field day. They've been going around wrecking everyone's games, being aggressive.
We need a wall.
Destroying people, and the wall is back.
We need a wall. When we said this in our podcast, that in the What's Hot and Whatnot episode, we've lost a very, very powerful wall in this game, and someone needs to take that mantle up. Yes, this is not going to be as potentially as effective as the Olden Wall with the Crown of Seeds and the Rampart, but a wall is needed, and there are clever ways to do it. And this is, as we're seeing now, a way of doing it.
Kind of a good point from Wampa Fruit in the chat, actually. It's kind of like the theme of the season. Play decks opponents aren't prepared for. We've seen that with Icelander, the Battle Hardens. We're seeing it right now with these warriors that are fatiguing these Lexis. It's like that in a tournament. You want to get an edge, and a way of getting an edge is to come with a deck that people expect to be doing something and then do something completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. It was still in an early meta, but then at the same time, I still think that Lexi's why I feel that Lexi is one of the best heroes in the current meta, because this isn't really all she's got, is it? This is just a toolkit that's particularly quite popular for the Lexi to pull off. Lexi can also, which hasn't happened in a long time, I don't expect it would happen anytime soon, but she's got more tools to play with to deal with these type of matchups as well. But just, right now here in the Calling Birmingham, no one's ready.
No.
So this is what you're all seeing it for the first time now on just Lexi's not being prepared for a real fatiguey warrior.
Gotta say though, the Lexi player is getting a bit of damage through here. Like
yeah, absolutely.
Working it out now, I feel like has settled into a rhythm of how to
that Arsenal card's still there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work out what he's waiting for. Is it just like the big coup de grace? Oh.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, is he still there? I wonder, does he know it's there?
Maybe they've forgotten.
Maybe he's forgot.
No. Maybe it's a sync.
Maybe it isn't.
And they haven't needed it yet.
When you just sort of think, I swear that's a sync.
I think if I was playing to a big fatigue, I'd be wanting to get a defense reaction in there. So just if something happens with an endless arrow that I'm not expecting, I can still shut it down, like maybe a lunging press or.
But there was a
lightning press.
There was some turns where I'm like, oh, he's just coming in for 5, and it's just like, oh, okay. But maybe he's waiting to use that for the endless arrow turn, and maybe the cheeky endless arrow at the end.
Lexi player down to about 20 cards apparently, so really eating through the deck. Managed to get the ball down to 22. It's not looking good.
No, I mean it's still a long way to go. So the Heat Seeker, he's saying no blocks. It's a soul shield. Whenever you see a bot and go no blocks, it's a soul shield.
Getting a card in Salt. So now has the
legs on board now.
Legs on tap, right?
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. That soul shield is just sitting there, making the legs work.
Swing in that saber, and Kia, of course, is going to take this.
Yeah,
needs to keep cards. Can't give up the card for a saber right now. Got 30, or now 37 health. And on one with the tunic, we have seen all three of a kinds played by now. Revealing the third copy of Searing Shot Red as well. Yeah, we have seen a few Lexi games. The Lexi is the most represented hero in the format. In today's format.
Of course, yeah. There's, I think I've seen this like 60.
A few Lexis, but they seem to be, who knows? Are they making it through? We've seen a few get up to 3-0, but will they make it through to the later stages of the tournament? It's hard to say.
Yeah. I think it would be. I would say it would be fairly unwise at this point to say that there would be a good amount of Lexis making it into day 2. I mean, it's about 60, 64 people on Lexi. It's quite a lot. I wouldn't be surprised to see quite a lot of them go through. But at the same time, it's like we said, it's really, really fun to see that we've got people just teching against it, and it's working out pretty well.
It is working well. The Lexi is running out of deck. And they are making an impact. Like, arrows are hitting. Arrows are coming through. And under 20 health on the bottom side.
It's that Winter's Bite, man. Stripping a card.
Here we see the Codex.
We see the Codex. So this is the last Codex, I believe. And maybe that's why he's kept that sink below into that arsenal. So he cannot get Codexed. So he's waiting till all 3 Codexes are gone. And now we can safely play out that sink below. So he's not getting affected by that. I think.
I think that's a good shout.
I think that's because
No, I
every
think
time
that-
I'm like, oh, he's not getting affected. It's because it's the same card sitting there.
I think it's two purposes, right? It plays around codex, and it also gives you just an out if something unexpected happens, and you do need to throw something at it.
I love it. It always. We're seeing some real spice here. This is really cool. This is really, really cool. So, yeah, blocking with the new warrior cards. Iron Song versus, fantastic card for Bolton specifically.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the Bolton player activate it too many times. It's not
No, I don't know why.
impactful, but it would.
It wouldn't hurt, would it? It wouldn't hurt. I mean, if you hit with the sabers, you get the courage token.
And then the next saber is coming in for 3, potentially
Yeah,
4 if
4,
they block
yeah.
with an arrow. They're almost certainly not going to want to block with an arrow, but it is something they maybe.
I mean, the one time I just thought about it is Pictures of Red.
Yeah,
come on,
time.
man. Yeah. Pictures of Sink Below as well. Interesting. So we're just playing that longer game, but I think now that Sink Below
It makes me really
Arsenal-
think there's definitely a Sink Below in Arsenal because they would have just played a card out
Yeah,
there.
come on.
And
Yeah,
Arsenal were sick.
absolutely.
So-
I'm not going mad. I'm not going mad. Come on, chat. Be with me, right? Are you with me?
We with
Let's-
you. We with
we-
you.
Be with me. He's just checking out his deck as well. Curious to see how many cards roughly the Bolton has. 1, 2.
We can't count that quickly.
No.
It's not a lot.
Around
Not a lot.
about 14-ish. 14, 15. By my quick count, quick math. So we're definitely playing into this long game here. Kier is now just having a real long think on how is he going to push through, because he's used all 3 free of a kinds, all 3 codexes now. I believe I've definitely seen 1 Rain Razor's been played, possibly 2. Are we running out of gas?
Running out of gas on the Lexington. We're also kind of running out of gas on the Bolton player. Remember, to block, you got to use cards.
That's true. I know that.
They're
But...
probably running pretty low themselves. Obviously, the Bolton's got a weapon, and the Lexi doesn't.
And he's got 20 health.
But
There's a point where Lexi can't. He could turn around and go, I'm not blocking. There will be a point where he goes, I just won't block. And there's no, you don't even present 20 damage.
The thing is he's sort of 2-card blocking a lot of the arrows, so he is getting a sort of 1 for 2 return.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But of course, the saber is going to make the difference. But
Yeah.
if Lexi has managed to set something up, this would be the time, I think.
I think that
And
yeah,
there it is.
here we go. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, I think this is the second or possibly third range razors that we've seen. We've got quite a few arrows, a few Hawkeyes as well. So this is going to be part of the big mega, Rain Razor's turn, right? Such a good card. All arrows have +2 damage into the end of the turn.
And Lexi's still got their snaps up, so it can go really wide this turn.
Yeah, I think we're also looking for, I believe he probably wanted to have a Bolton shot as well, just to really push out.
Yeah,
that.
or the 0 for 3 go again, the
whole
Falcon Wing.
Falcon Wing.
Yeah,
Oh,
something
Falcon
like that.
Punch.
Falcon
Falcon
Punch.
Punch.
Is another good one on a Rain Razor's turn. You just want to go as wide as possible because every attack is 2 damage.
But Volto's only got 2 activations as well. He's also, I bet if he's got a cheeky blue for the quiver, you never know.
It's looking like there is a Falcon Wing in hand, so that will get.
there is.
Looks like there might be 2 actually. So this could be really.
There is.
This is starting to look like actually a very good
Yeah.
setup by the Lexi player. Knows what they're doing here. This is their time.
So we're going for 5, 6. Oh, we're going for of course, go for the +1.
Plus
6.
1 from Voltaire.
6 go again. That's a big number. 6 go again. That's really big. How often do you see a 6? That's like a brighter.
This is the time. This is the tempo swing. So it
here
gets
we go.
down the Steel Blade Shunt here, but this is currently just a 2. Well, I guess it's 2 for 5. 2-card block for 5.
But
Depends if they've got another Steel Blade that they can play out to get the value of
Absolutely.
it. We're aware that we're pretty sure there's a sink in Arsenal, a defense react in Arsenal that's probably going to get.
I'm losing my mind. Is there a sink in this Arsenal? Come on. He's having a think. If this is a 6, this is a sink. This is a 7. This is the time. Con Eminent's having a think. He's doing some raw maths here.
We be counting.
He know. Have I losing my mind? Is there a sink in Arsenal? There's got to be.
We're about to find out.
We're about to find out. Oh. Yeah. I knew there was a sink in Arsenal. I thought I was going mad. I've been there all day.
So not using the snaps on that turn, which is interesting. Maybe didn't have the resources for another arrow. I guess 2 activations of Voltaire plus the 1 cost of Remorseless meant that there wasn't enough resources for it. It does have the Tunic though, so can't remember. I couldn't quite remember what card was Arsenal, but clearly working to another big turn here.
Yes. Wow. Okay. So that was a really big turn. I think he again still setting up, but I wonder how many Rain Razors we got left. We are getting to this really, really nail biting point now that a lot of reds have been used.
I just want to remind everyone, imagine if this Lexi still had Bullseye Bracers, would have been able to load that Falcon Wing with +1, push an additional chunk of damage there. But because of that ban, it does limit the Lexi player's ability to get cards into Arsenal and play them out on these big Rain Razors turns. So it is having an impact here, and we are seeing it.
We've still got quite a bit of armor left as well. We've got a 1 block left on the shield. We've got a 2 block on the legs, and we've still got 1 block on the chest and the arm piece as well. So still plenty of onboard equipment just to stop a load of damage.
Both of these decks are looking very low, but you still put it in.
You only need 1 or 2 cards to just keep sabers, right? And just you don't have enough cards to kill me, and I will just saber you until I win.
It's whether this Lexi can make work with the Endless Arrow, can get them back in, can get them into play.
Yeah. I think here was just needing to have a much more of a bigger blowout turn.
All their 3 of a kinds were kind of clumped together in the deck, and it ended up being incredibly awkward. I mean, it meant they had 2 quite good turns, but just didn't have the impact they wanted.
Okay, here. So this is going to affect the defense reactions. So now all defense reactions are going to cost. Well, they're going to cost 1 effectively. So Sink Blow is now going to cost 1 due to Frostlock being fused. Oh no, it's actually not because of the fuse. It just does that.
They can't play. They can't pitch cards with
0 cost. Yeah. So regardless of Frostlock coming down anyway,
I'll be honest. It's probably going to be a whole hand block from Bolton anyway.
Card,
but
pretty much. It's not. It's an easy card to block.
Yeah.
But this turn, so it's even though the Frostlock is not the on hit, it's not the problem. It's just that it's kind of what's the Heart of Ice?
Yeah,
it's a Heart of Ice during the attack. So if he's got any defense reactions, this is actually going to be a bit of a nuisance.
It is going to be a nuisance, but this Bolton's still got a really good life lead, and like as we were saying, if they are able to just keep a card, swing a saber.
Oh, that's all she wrote. Okay, so.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know if, maybe Emlyn, because there's no resources. Maybe he's just been very quickly saying that he's firing the, no, he's not. Maybe he's not using the.
Maybe he just wants to set up something bigger. Maybe it was just like, I need to set up a much bigger turn than this to actually get damage through.
just to pitch one for the Ironsong versus.
Oh yeah,
and then swing saber.
Didn't seem to do that.
It'd
be interesting to ask about that.
Yeah.
Still seeing some.
So
there are some defense reacts in hand, but we have seen the Frostbite made, so that is going to make things a little bit awkward. A lot of yellow cards in Emlyn's deck, so that means going to make that Soul Shield a little bit trickier to play.
Yeah.
They are good boots, and they are good against Kano. Yeah, the 2 prevention, isn't it? So really good against all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And the shadow ones as well, especially in Levia, can be really interesting because you don't get the blood there.
But what I love about this thought process is that he just goes, how am I going to get a card in Soul? And you just, Soul Shield.
Yeah.
Soul Shield is just sitting there, just going, I'll second arm down. You've got a 2 block.
You're going to get a few in, because it's a Soul Shield, that's what it does.
You don't even need to charge. Just let Soul Shield do the work. Brilliant. It's those legs and that Soul Shield is such a great defensive package together. Coming down with an Icequake red.
We are seeing the blues.
Getting this +3. So all attacks now that I hit will drop a Frostbite token onto Emlyn, which I don't think the Frostbite tokens are really the big thing here because he's not really going to come swinging back.
No, the Bolton's got a plan. It's run the
block.
Lexi out of deck.
Run Lexi out.
The game, which is exactly what happened with the Dory Lexi game earlier.
Yeah, I think we're also getting very close to this point now where, like I said to you, it's...
The light have soul has come down on the table. You can see the light coming down, favouring this Bolton.
Favouring this Bolton player. Okay, so we got a shunt. Blocking for a grand total of 8.
Yeah, it'll be a 3 and a 5 there.
Yeah, that's fully blocked out there.
The light is indeed the sun. It is coming through a skylight about 20 meters above us. But
Yeah.
don't worry, we'll pass.
I tell you what, I probably would say, yeah, it's we're directly under the skylight.
It'll start raining in about half an hour, trust me.
It's raining light.
Yeah.
Again, we're coming in with the Centauri Saber, not activating the Iron Song verses and just taking 2. Just fine. To be honest, I don't. It's not a deal breaker. It's just curious why.
It's not a deal breaker.
It's not a deal breaker.
Not a deal
But
breaker.
It's certainly not a deal breaker. But just you brought the cake. You might as well eat it, right?
He's bought the cake. It's time to eat it. And Lexi is looking in trouble here. Not many cards left in deck. Looking like a lot of blues, a lot of ice. Not really what they want. No weapon to swing, and it's hard to say. Well, it's not hard to say.
It's not hard to
I'm
say.
pretty
It's really
sure
easy
that
to
Bolton
say.
has managed to secure this with
It's
this
looking so.
fatiguing, controlling strategy.
And looking at Kier, I think he knows. We're playing so quick now that he's just left with loads of blues. Yeah, he knows. He can see.
Yeah.
His deck. You can just see on camera now. Deck's looking mighty thin. We just got blues left.
And we said this in the other game that these Lexi players are playing fine, but like, I guess they need to be. They're playing really well, but they need to be playing to these huge turns. But I feel like Kier did that. He did try to get a couple of big turns out. But
There's some. I think there was some points really near the early game when we were seeing the Codex of Frailty being used to extend arrow turns, which is good.
Yeah.
But more effective if we're stripping cards at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whereas we were just going arrow, Codex, not strip a card from hand, another arrow. It's good, but not the full power of what we expect a Codex to bring. Also, as well, probably could have just pitched some of those Codexes and that 3 of a kind that he also got. Maybe that might have actually had a bit more of a setup at this point of the game. I think he just went in hot and discovered that this wall was here to stay. We've still got plenty of
huge
of
chance, but
equipment.
definitely not huge enough. Is what Shamir is saying in the chat, and that is true. We are running
you're
out of
right,
cards
Shamir.
in this deck. We are seeing the blues. We are seeing the pitch cards come back round. You know, some of them aren't half bad. The Frostlocks ain't half bad, especially when you get the fuse. But it's just not going to be enough here. And yeah, like Anthony's saying, you need to use those codexes to get the endless arrow bouncing back into the deck. You know, you've got to get those 0 for 4. You've got to keep those reds in deck. But when Bolt's got so much equipment, what do you do?
I mean, there is a point. Maybe there is a point when in Emmeline's testing as well. He just goes, yeah, the Lexi players have to play in an extremely specific way. They have to set that deck up in a very specific way in order to push through. So there is, honestly, I think there is a way Lexi can get out of this, but you're not aware and you're just going to go throwing, just throw down. It's just not enough. Yeah.
And they're going to get a little bit of damage in here, but
It's just 2.
that's going to be it.
Yeah, that's just 2.
I think it's the Lexi player drawing their whole deck here. It's either that or, I mean, with the pitch card, maybe there's 1 card left in deck. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 cards left in deck.
Yeah, and Bolton players again still got shields, still got
15
equipment.
health.
Yeah,
Equipment. I think I saw a yeah. And the card's coming down, and it's really good.
What? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Sorry, we have our man Simon. He's
man Simon
he's
telling us-
he's
telling us
he's
information.
earwigging me
Yeah.
what it is, and I just couldn't help myself but just ask the man about. Yeah, so we just got word in that Lexi's sitting there on roughly about 2 cards left in deck, and Bolton's around about the 4 or 5.
I think I mentioned
You-
those
not
2 cards left in deck,
you.
but thankfully Simon came and told us information we already knew.
Well, that's
so
what you get for saying that I look like Simon.
That's what I get. Well, I'll never say it again.
He said, yeah. That's what you get. We're left with lots of blue cards
They're
now,
playing to
aren't
this,
we?
Lexi. They're not going to go out with a whimper. They're
No.
gonna keep playing these cards out.
Absolutely. Come on.
Keep doing their game plan.
Yeah, bot for 3.
The blocks
And
are
then
gonna come
we've
down.
got loads of all the infecting. We've got all 3 blue infecting shots ready to go. This is I believe this is.
Is this what you expected to see, Hamish, when you came to the calling today? Is
what,
to see
this?
these Lexis being
bullied
humbled, I should
humbled
say, by warriors of all.
No, I didn't.
heroes.
Actually, honestly, no. I obviously was looking at Bolton in a very he's, very much more simple way of going, oh, Raiden, look at all these brilliant cards from Raiden. And very, very clever individuals like Emlyn and other players across Europe as well has just picked up that, hey, we can play this really blocking game. We've lost a wall of Oldham. We can do this. And this has been really effective.
And I think these players have gravitated towards Warrior as opposed to maybe like a Bravo, like a blocking Bravo, because maybe they feel like it has better game into Dramai. And I'd be really interested to see one of these decks come up against a Dramai later on and see how that pans out.
It's probably just more down to the fact that I know that Bravo has a staunch response, two for 6, or was that the blue one? 2 for 5?
Something like that.
Something like that. But Warrior's having Soul Shield and Shunt.
Yeah, Shunt's
value. Huge.
Especially for Tunic.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Shunt is kind of really the big thing that's actually making them the wall, and having a they're pretty decent weapons as well.
Well, with a tuning up, Red Shunt is a one card block 6.
Absolutely, it's amazing rate. And I'm loving the fact that
that's what I'm saying. We've got Shunt. Yeah, exactly.
We're moving to Bolton. That's because we've got Soul Shield and Shunt. Really big blocking. Plus a lot of light cards as well, and Warrior, picking up the new light legs, also being able to just block for 2 if you've got a card and soul, which is easy to do because of Soul Shield. It's a lot of damage. That's a big wall.
We see the snaps played here. We're going to see the final Hail Mary of this
turn.
Lexi player.
Come on. So, yeah.
Kier clearly had his lunch before this game. Doesn't need to rush off anywhere. He's going to play it out. Going to get these cards down the table.
That's
going to be all she wrote.
That's it. He's just going to use
the boots. Just
use your shiny boots, good sir.
Show the interaction there.
Use your shiny boots. Prevent 2 damage, and then coming in for a. He's just Soul Shield. He's not even going to let him have any. He's like, no, you're not taking any of my health. You're not taking anything.
And surely that's going to be the.
Surely that's game, right? That's game. Kier is, yeah. It's just good. Oh, are we just?
Are we gonna do this?
Are we playing down? We're cool. All right, Kier, you're up. Yeah. Okay, everyone, we are watching this. We're doing it.
We're gonna see
playing it through.
14 saber swings. Everybody.
We're doing it, everyone. Okay, coming in for 3. Block for 3. Yeah, cool. All right,
there we go.
Thank you. We were just waiting.
As much as I want to see 14 swings of the saber, I think that was the best way to do it.
Yeah. That's there we go. I don't know if that's ever happened before, where someone was like, "I'm fatigued, but I'm not conceding."
Maybe, if I were them, I'm going to leave now, go get my lunch. But,
He's like, no,
hey everyone, we're back
me.
on the screen. What a game, eh? Like we've been talking it through the whole time, but it's. I just think, what are we going to see when these warriors come up against non-Lexi heroes? They're clearly teched really well against Lexi. What are they going to do with the other ones? And I'm really interested to see that.
What are we going to see these warrior players do against Stromai? And it was a fantastic game.
What I'm really interested to see is those here playing against each other. Like, how is that matchup going to work in a mirror? Like, which are they going to go aggro? Are they going to save it?
I would say that if I was going to throw in, if you're going to go the axe versus the saber, I'd lean on the axe, bro, because the axe is just effectively making all your blocking power really weak. But regardless, that game against Lexi and Bolton, really good. We've now got a Bolton on 4-0. And it was just we saw the shield come out. Did you expect the shield? I didn't.
I didn't expect the shield. I would have expected the big axe.
Yeah.
But I think the shield did work. And I think, considering how... it was a bit interesting with the Einstein versus whether that should have been used more, but we'll probably find that out a bit. We'll probably got time for it.
I think we got
time for a little bit of an interview. I'm not sure. We'll see if we've got time. Bring that player on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I think so far we've seen some interesting heroes. We've been trying to get different heroes on. We keep getting Lexis, but there's a lot of Lexis. So we're to get a Bolton and
we're trying to find really interesting. We saw Vincent currently on 2-1, but we set up that the Bolton player was currently on 3-0. So we're like, oh, that's a really good match to put on. We just don't know what the opponent's going to be. But 9 times out of 10 at the minute, it's looking like it's a Lexi that is, or potentially a Dromai. But as the day goes on, we're going to start finding some of these, real high placed winners. But in the meantime, we're also just trying to get some very, very cool games from very different heroes that you just wouldn't expect.
And this is the point in the tournament, 4-0, where the best players are really starting to start playing each other.
Yeah.
And that's what happens in the tournament. And I think the games are going to get harder and harder and harder as the tournament progresses. That's how tournaments work. So we're going to bring you some more great games soon, but we'll be heading off for now, and we'll see you in the next one.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Calling Birmingham. This is Emlyn Ingram. Oh my God. When we sat down, you went, I've got Lexi. You were like, this is going to be a long one. I was like, okay, it's fine. We've got 55 minutes. It's all right. It was like you came out like a Formula One car. You were just like, I couldn't keep up with the cards. Yeah. And you were slapping cards down to defend. And it got to about the half an hour mark. You were both checking how much was in. And then you were like, yeah, I can slow down now.
Yes. Yeah, when you reach that like halfway point through the life totals and the decks, you're like, okay, it's okay. I've got through the power cards. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you were constantly counting how many endless arrows have gone, how many codexes has gone, how many rain razors have gone. Yeah. Once you got to a certain point, you were just like, right, it's just raw damage, and I've just got to play smart. And it was just like, sit behind the saber. It's like watching Oldham, but it's a warrior. And you did apologise. You were just like, yeah, it's, it might be a bit boring. I'm sorry to everybody watching, but Lexi has to be reined in. So, give me your thoughts, your deck on how you constructed this bolt and go into your armor suite. We don't have a lot of time, but, as much as you can.
My deck, the main plan is normally Raiden, which is just like by far the most fun way to play Bolton. Of course, it's like a aggressive deck with some mid-range turns. And then I've also got the combo plan for aggro decks like the Rune Blades. I wanted to try and find something for the ninjas because I'm so scared of Warmongers and CNC. I paired into a catsuit earlier today, managed to combo them, and it was all safe. They weren't running Warmongers. So that was a relief for me. Yeah, I'm running 15 armor total because I have 3 different game plans based on what heroes I'm playing against. The fatigue isn't the main plan, it's just for Lexi because they're just such a much better deck than us with high card quality, so we just lose in the long game if we try and play aggressively, and combos are really risky if they have like a Codex of Inertia or CNC, and there's so many ways that they can disrupt us, and also it's hard to get to the combo because they do so much damage per turn.
Yeah, we saw that in previous rounds where it was just like people just couldn't keep up, and it was just like slinging card after card. We had the Dory against Alexi.
Oh right, and I almost took Dory today, but I wasn't sure.
She sat behind a great axe and just and fatigued out.
Try out the great axe.
Yeah, you'll have to speak to Maximilian Klein. That's who's running it. So well worth a chat with him. That was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I did think when we saw you on 3-0, I was just like, let's get a Bolton on. Let's get let's show off his cards. And it was just like, yeah, we're playing against Lexi. This is just fatigue. But I wish you all the very best.
Yeah, thank you.
The way you're playing, flipping heck. Oh, amazing. You should get into day 2. Give a shout out to your local.
So I'm from Southampton. All the guys here today, they've been doing great. They've all got good records so far. And yeah, thanks to everyone for games at locals. It's been really good practice. And thanks for all the testing games. It's been really helpful.
So you play against Francesco Giorgio and Sean Nolden.
And Jack, all of them.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay,
so very stacked local, and Jacob's there sometimes as well, but he's in Oxford half the year. So yeah, it's very stacked.
Nice, brilliant. Okie dokie, Alan. If you could put another community content one on, that'd be brilliant.